You're not having a good time, you're wasting your time. You say that every night.
Relationships and situationships and, all things. Thank you so much.
Daddy Yum Yum, 265 gallons of pure milk chocolate. And you are watching the Social Dose.
Good evening, Social Goats. This is your boy right over here, the Creole King, here with Social Goats and with the lovely Miss Sharde.
Hello.
How are you doing, love?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Well, we're going to go ahead and get right into it with the queen right over here. So, Miss Sharde, why don't you tell us about why you're here to talk about the Janiyah Strong Foundation and what is it and the purpose of it? Because for those that aren't truly familiar with it and don't understand it.
Okay, we started the Janiyah Strong Foundation in 2022 after we found out our daughter Janiyah had a coarctation of the aorta, which is a congenital heart defect. And just going through that process, she ended up having heart surgery. Just going through that process, we didn't know about congenital heart disease until we start seeing symptoms. Then we took it to our doctor. But we more so are here to raise awareness about the signs and the symptoms and to talk to you about our Red Out Gala that's coming up on this coming Saturday, February the 22nd.
Oh, really? So tell us more about Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the purpose of the gala is to be able to raise awareness for congenital heart disease and to have a good time, actually. More so, we raise money to be able to give to the families that's in the hospital in Oshner's, in New Orleans, because that's where Janiyah was at. So we normally raise money to be able to give to those families that's in the hospital.
Okay. It must have been really hard with you as a having to see your child go through this, but not only her, you seeing other babies going through this. So, sorry, I don't want to get too emotional. Okay. Can you explain to me and the viewers about congenital heart disease, on what it is and your understanding of it and how it affects people, especially in the African American community with kids that are dealing with this? Because what I know about heart disease, being in the medical field, is that we as African Americans are 10 times more likely to have heart problems than any other race, whether you're an adult or a child. Yes. And it's also about what you eat, genetics. So did they explain to you exactly about her heart disease that she was diagnosed with?
Well, a lot of times they say that congenital heart disease, it can be normal. Sometimes it's not genetic.
Oh, really?
I don't have any heart disease. My husband doesn't have any heart disease. And so, congenital heart disease. So we really don't know. Sometimes it's unknown about what can cause it.
Okay.
And it's so many different congenital heart defects. It's about 8 different congenital heart defects. And so Janiyah had what was called a coarctation of the aorta, which it's a narrowing of the largest vein in the heart. And so we only found out because of her symptoms, because normal baby, went to all my doctor's appointments, didn't have like didn't miss a doctor's appointment. But
Right.
just one day, just in the car, I started noticing she was sweating, and the car was cold. She was sweating and she was breathing really heavy. Then later on found out she was in heart failure. And so that's when we went to the doctor, and they ended up saying she had the coarctation and had to be flown to New Orleans. So that's why we're here, is to be able to stand in the gap for other families that has this diagnosis, especially for them to be able to focus more on their kids while they're in the hospital.
And I can tell in your voice and just your presence right now that it really affected you, because you know your maternal instincts kicked in as a mother, as you know, as a human being, seeing your child go through that.
Yes.
You never thought in a million years that would happen.
Mm-mm.
So is there any advice that you want to give to the mothers out there that are dealing with this type of situation, whose kids may have passed or their kids are still going through it in a hospital bed? Because I know the biggest thing that anybody needs is support when you're going. Have you thought about any resources that you may be able to give, or any help that you can help these mothers that are going through this with our children?
What I try to do is, when I get tagged in a post about families that have to go, I reach out to the family, the mother, and I try to send them scriptures. I try to encourage them, let them know that they're not alone. Because a lot of times you feel like that you're alone. You feel like you don't have anybody else to talk to, especially if you talk to somebody who doesn't have a child with it.
Right.
Of course, they're not going to understand, because they're not going to understand the different medications. They're not going to understand the different doctor's appointments. They're not going to understand. So the point is to be able to help them, walk with them, and stand in the gap for them, pray for them. And if they do need, financial assistance, be able to help them.
So you pretty much, in a way, with these women that you build relationship with, you have your own little support group that y'all have together, that y'all talk to maybe once a week or once a month, or even daily if possible, to, like you said, give scriptures, prayers, and just being an ear for each other. That is important, because a lot of people don't understand when you're dealing with something like that, especially when it's a child involved.
Yes.
You need all the support that you can get, because it's a toll on you.
Yes, a big toll. Mentally, you beat yourself up, because you carry this child for 8-9 months. Sometimes you can beat yourself up, like, what did I do? Did I not do something right? But once you get peace in that area, you know that it's purpose in it. And that's why we ended up birthing out the foundation, to be able to help, because it's not, sometimes when we go through stuff, it's not meant for us to hold on to it. It's meant for us to be able to help somebody else and encourage somebody else with that story.
Gala, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Well, why don't you go ahead and let us know, like, any surprises that we need to know about that you got up your sleeve,
Well, we have live performances going on from Mr. KB Yield. He's going to be there. We're going to have a live auction. We're going to have a 3-course meal. We're going to have a cash bar available. We have Dr. Gretchen Petaway. She's coming to
is a pediatrician and a Black woman going to be in this. She can relate to people that look just like her, and vice versa. So, Dr. Gretchen, thank you for your service.
Yes. Look, also we have Dr. Miss Dominique Ben. She's the host of this year's gala.
Oh, really?
Yes. So you got to get you a ticket.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I put that on my number one list, my priority. That's amazing. You have some powerful, inspirational people that are going to be there for this cause, and not even that, but just to support you and everything that you're trying to do for the city of Shreveport and just the whole entire world. That is extremely big of you, and that is going to pave the way for a lot of people. So that is amazing. What are the attire for the gala? Anything? Like, come on. You gotta help the brothers out, man.
Well, the men folks, y'all can wear a black tuxedo, maybe a red bow tie. As long as you have red on, and the young ladies, y'all can wear a red dress. Just ready to have a good time. It's all about having fun for a great cause.
Oh, absolutely. I always love a party, especially a gala.
Come on now.
So I see that you have some sponsorship packages. Are people still able to participate in getting a sponsorship and getting the tickets? Like, when's the deadline for all of it?
The deadline is Wednesday, February the 19th.
Okay.
So tickets, table, sponsorship is available until then.
All right. And how is the sweet little Janiyah doing?
Janiyah is rambunctious. She is a blessing. She's doing great. When I look at her, I look at how God's hand has been on her. Because it was a time where the doctor was saying he didn't think, she was gonna make it out of the ICU. But look at God. Look at her now, running, jumping, running our household.
Oh,
She's great.
She makes you go strong every day, I see.
She does. She keeps me on my toes, and she's so full of love. Oh, she's so full of love.
And that right there is going to make you get through the day a lot easier. Every day that she's there with a smile on her face,
Yes.
It makes you go stronger, so you don't feel like it's you against the world with this, because you have the family, your husband, your other baby, everybody to support you with this.
Yes.
So that is truly inspirational. Is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as, with the mothers that are still dealing with this? Anything else further into it, or even dads that might be going through this that might
But he didn't let me lose my mind. He didn't let me lose it. He kept me. And when you can say he kept me, that's a different type of story, baby. That's different. He real. Like, for real, he real. And if you don't know him, get to know him.
Amen. Look, it took me back to when I was a kid, growing up in the church. I got a mother and a father that's a deacon and deaconess. So
okay, my mama and daddy too.
So I understand it completely. But it's true. You put God first, everything is possible.
It is, because when you're going through something like